nothing changes.
Hey guys, how are we doing? So, video today will give you an insight into my individual training schedule. So there'll be two parts to it. One will be my conditioning program, which includes all my physical attributes, looking at your strength training, power training, speed and agility training. Then you've got your plyometrics, isometric training, and the second part will cover my technical attributes. So that's your dribbling, your finishing, passing, receiving, first touch, all that technical stuff. Alright, so I've got a fair bit to cover, so let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so right here is my seasonal conditioning program. Doesn't look much at all, but it's really, really simple to follow. The conditioning program is not mine, it's actually by a guy called Phil Davis. And basically I just bought his ebook and I was really interested in the methods that he was teaching, so I thought why not give it a crack. So I'll put a link to his website in the description below. Alright, so as you can see, you've got 4 phases in this program. And so it's currently early April, so I'm still in phase 1, but this is the last week of phase 1. So on the side here, these are all the physical attributes that will be focused on in this conditioning program. So you've got aerobic endurance up the top there, you've got your strength, power, speed, agility, and general conditioning. So that's balance, stability, flexibility and whatnot. Alright, so we'll go straight into phase 1. So for endurance, I've got continuous training for 3 weeks. So the number in brackets, that's the amount of times you do it during each phase. So generally try and do it once a week. So I've got 3 continuous training sessions over the 4 weeks. So phase 1 lasts for 4 weeks. And I've got 1 interval training session towards the end. So the continuous training was the video that I posted last week of my aerobic endurance session. And I'll be posting one of my interval training session this week. So now move on to strength. So you have 4 weeks of foundational strength training. So the idea for foundational strength training is to sort of balance your body out if there's any sort of unilateral imbalances between legs or arms, and it's a time to identify those imbalances and to work on them to try and bring your body back into sync. The other reason for doing foundational training is to sort of get your body prepared for what's to come for the rest of the season. So I'll be posting a foundational strength session as well sometime this week, as it's my last week on phase 1. So foundational strength, that includes your compound movements, your squats, your military press, bench press, ab training, so sit-ups, crunches. I'll go in more detail in the strength video that's to come this week. Now power, speed and agility, as you can see there's no training during this phase. Now the reason why I'm not doing any power, speed or agility training is you don't want to burn out your muscles, at the start of the season. The other reason is to get the most out of this program, you want to be focusing on 1 phase at a time. Now if you do all of these attributes at once, you're going to put yourself at risk for injuries. And that's what I did last month. Before I found this program, I had about 2 weeks of pre-season training, and I focused on everything. I was doing everything I could to prepare myself for pre-season, and I burnt out and my muscles could not handle it. And that's when I did my hamstring in a game, and that put me out for at least a week. So again, that comes back to continuous training and foundational training. You want to get your body prepared. This phase is to get your body prepared for what's to come. So we don't touch power, speed or agility training till phases 3 and phases 4. So move on to phase 2. So phase 2 I start next week, so starting April 17th through to May 26th. Now this phase lasts 6 weeks. So for endurance, I'll start with 4 weeks of interval training. Now interval training it's a lot more intense than continuous training. So it's a lot more football specific, as it's short bouts of intense running followed by a really short recovery. So that really kicked my fitness into gear. Now for the last 2 weeks of endurance, I move on to even more intense endurance, and that's speed endurance. So speed endurance is going 100% for as long as you can before the lactic acid builds up. So the speed endurance is trying to increase your tolerance for lactic acid. Now for strength training, we move on from foundational strength and we move into maximal strength. So that's trying to increase your 1 rep maximum, and we do that for 6 weeks. So these are the big compound movements. That's your squats, deadlifts, bench press. And this phase you really want to try and gain as much strength as possible without gaining too much size. Now as for power, speed and agility, I've put low in here, so you want to try and ease your way into it. You're going to do 1 session a week, but you're not wanting to do this at 100%, as it will collide with your strength gains for this phase. So I won't be doing much, so I'll be just doing speed ladders, a few sprints here and there, maybe the cross drill that I did in my aerobic endurance session in my last video. But yeah, so just ease your way into power, speed and agility training. As for general conditioning, that stays the same. At least 6 sessions for this phase. I want to try and do at least 2 or 3 a week, and you'll see in my weekly schedule where flexibility and conditioning will fit in. So that's the end of phase 2. So phase 1 and phase 2, they're really preparation phases for phases 3 and 4. That's when you'll really see the improvement coming in. So phase 3 won't start till May 29th, and then I'll go through to July 7th. So again, that's a 6-week phase. Now for the endurance, for the whole 6 weeks, I'll be focusing on speed endurance. So really want to improve my speed endurance on the pitch. I believe that'll make a big difference to my game in the midfield. Now strength training, we move on from maximal strength into strength endurance. So you're looking at 20 to 25 reps, really low weight, and these two attributes will complement each other, as they're both focusing on that promotion of building a tolerance to the lactic acid that creeps into your muscles. So I'll be doing strength endurance for the 6 weeks as well in phase 3. As for power, speed and agility, this is where we really bring it in. So you're looking to do 6 sessions of plyometrics during this phase and 6 sessions of isometric training during this phase. So plyometric training are where you want your muscles to exert maximum force in a short amount of time. So the goal here is to increase power with plyometrics and seeing how high you can jump, so your vertical jump, your horizontal jump. So that'll help with your power off the mark and speed off the mark, or if you're going up for a header, it'll really give you that lift off. So that's 6 weeks, so 6 sessions of plyometric training. Now isometric training, it's similar to plyometric, except you're in the gym and you're focusing on your gym equipment. So you've got your squat, your military press, your leg curls and your hamstring curls. Now you're doing these with virtually no weight, or if you want to challenge yourself, put on very little weight, but the focus here is to exert the muscles for power. So for example, if you're doing a squat, you go down slowly, but then you really want to jump up and power off with your legs. So for power training, I want to be doing 2 sessions a week, so 1 plyometric session and then 1 isometric session later on during the week. The same thing for speed and agility. So SAQ, that stands for speed, agility, quickness. So again, you're doing 6 sessions for phase 3. Now this is where you're really going to see results from those preparation phases of your strength training. So I'll be doing a lot of ladder drills, acceleration off the mark, sprinting, a lot of quick turns and changes of direction over a small distance. So a great drill there would be the Illinois drill. I'll be posting videos of me doing a lot of footwork drills, but incorporating my technical work as well. So I'm really looking forward to phase 3 as well. And again, same thing for general conditioning, balance, stability and flexibility. So heading phase 4 now, I'm really hitting the last end of the season. So it's July 10th to August 25th. So after August 25th, that's when you're looking at finals. But again, so for endurance training, still focusing on speed endurance for 7 weeks. So this phase lasts 8 weeks. This is the longest phase. I've put 7 sessions for speed endurance and 1 continuous session. Now the reason I put the continuous session there is because it's an 8-week long phase, you want to be putting in a rest week or you're going to burn out before the end of the season. So I might even cut that out actually. Depends how my body feels. If it feels good, I'll do a light continuous session just to let my body recover from the intensity of the last 2 phases. Now for strength training, here I'm really not trying to improve my strength or strength endurance. I really want to be maintaining it throughout the season for this phase. So maximal strength, I want to be doing 7 sessions of that. I'll be doing 7 sessions of strength endurance for this phase. So I'll be doing 2 strength sessions a week during phase 4. I'll try to spread them apart, so I might do a maximal strength session on a Monday and a strength endurance session on a Wednesday. And that's far enough between games, so I won't have any fatigue on the weekend. Again, yep, so 7 each, and then 1 foundational session. So that's going back to phase 1. Again, that's just for a little rest and to let your body recover during these 2 intense phases. So as for power, speed, and agility, you're pretty much doing the same thing as phase 3. Plyometric and isometric training 7 times during this phase. Same with speed, agility, quickness training, 7 weeks only. So that week where I'll be having a rest week, a recovery week, I won't be doing any power, speed, or agility exercises. I'll be just focusing on my technical training. So really light sessions, not that intense, just so it gets me through the season without fatigue and hopefully without injuries. And again, general conditioning, balance, stability, and flexibility for the 8 weeks. That was a lot to take in. So move on to my technical side now. So again, it's really simple to follow. I haven't complicated things. I've just put it under my conditioning program. So my technical program for the year, as you can see, it's not as strict as my conditioning program, as I want to be doing this week in, week out consistently, looking to improve all sides of my technical game. So I've got light dribbling 3 times per week. So light dribbling, if you've seen my YouTube channel, you'll see the 1000 touches video. That would be a typical light dribbling session. Not that long, half an hour, getting 1000 touches in, 3 times per week. Generally, I do that after a strength session, and again, you'll see that in my weekly schedule, which I'll show you straight after this. So you've got intense dribbling sessions twice per week. Then you've got passing and receiving, or your first touch. So I want to be doing that 3 times per week. It's really important for me in the midfield. So then you've got shooting or finishing. I want to do that 3 times per week. Now this is a really weak part of my game, and that's really been neglected during my early years of development. So I really want to focus on finishing and shooting this year. Control 2 times per week. That's juggling. I put an asterisk next to it because first touch or receiving and control, they're very similar, you know, when it comes to a game. So I might put receiving or first touch and control together. I'll see. But yeah, twice per week. So you're looking at juggling. If you can get a partner that can throw you a ball, you can volley it back using all different parts of your body, you know, your chest, your knee, instep of your foot, outside of your foot. Then you've got situation-based training or position-specific training, and I want to do that twice per week. Situation training is you get into position. Preferably I want to have at least 1 or 2 people with me when doing this. And basically you go through typical scenarios in a game and you just repeat certain drills that are position specific. So in my case, I've been playing the holding mid or the defensive mid a lot this season, and I probably will continue there for the rest of the season. So I want to be focusing on receiving the ball from a centre back, opening my body up, playing the ball preferably into the 8 or a player high up the field. If not, I can play in a triangle and play it to the other centre back. So that's an example of position-specific training. Right, so that's it for the technical side of things. So now I'm going to move on to my weekly schedule. So I print one of these out every week. Basically, it's just a general idea of when I'm going to focus on what. So this is week 4, phase 1. So it's my last week of phase 1, remember? Okay, so now I've just put the time there. I'm not really going to follow it. I just generally want to be doing this in the morning when I have time. So during these blank spaces, I've got work and I've got uni. Monday, I completed a foundational strength session at 6 a.m. And after I did my 1,000 touches, so a light dribbling session plus a passing session on the wall, straight after my strength session. So I don't want to be doing anything strenuous after my session because I could easily get a niggle in my legs, and I really don't want to be sprinting or anything after doing leg work. So a few hours rest. I move on to flexibility during the midday. So that's stretching 15-20 minutes. Just take care of your muscles. Should aid me in my recovery so I can have a session that afternoon as well. So 5 p.m. on the Monday, I did some interval training and some shooting. So remember, it's week 4 and the last week of phase 1 in endurance. Week 4 is interval training. So that went really well. So I was happy with my interval session that day. We have Tuesday, which is this morning. So today, I did dribbling session, dribbling, shooting, and control session. Now again, I'll go through these drills on a video over the next few weeks. Yeah, that gives me some ample recovery time here. Now general conditioning, so that's your balance, stability, or flexibility. So today I decided to do some stability exercises, so ankle stability. Again, I think I mentioned earlier, my ankles are pretty weak and I wear ankle guards every time I train and play a game. They're very weak, so I've been to the physio and he's given me some stability exercises to work on. And I can tell I've been doing it for a few weeks now and they've been gaining a lot of strength. I've been really focusing on ankle stability for general conditioning. As for tonight, I've got team training. We don't have a game this week, so we don't have training on Thursday, but we've got training tonight. Now tomorrow morning, another foundational strength session. So I'm doing squats, chest, shoulders. I've got a light dribbling session at 9, half an hour. Just get 1,000 touches in, that'd be great. And again, midday we're doing another flexibility session, 15-20 minutes of stretching. Now 5 p.m. in the afternoon, I've got passing, probably first touch as well, and situational training. I think Wednesday I want to be focusing on receiving the ball from the centre back and spraying the ball wide to the fullback or winger. Thursday, another intense dribbling, shooting and control session, just like Tuesday. Again, general conditioning, I'll be doing ankle stability, definitely. Now, like I said, we don't have a game this week, so there'll be no team training on Thursday, I think. We'll find out tonight, but I'm pretty sure I have no team training, so that gives me a chance to work on more interval session, just like Monday. Now, as for Friday, I'll have another foundational strength session. So I'm going to film Friday session for you and I'll upload that on the Saturday morning. Another light dribbling session, getting 1,000 touches in, good half hour. Midday, another flexibility session, and Friday afternoon, situational training. So generally, this is my schedule week in, week out, except for my strength training and conditioning program. But as far as my technical training, it pretty much stays the same. It's only subject to change if training is scheduled on another day or if I've got work on a different day and whatnot. But really important, situational training, I really want to be doing that every Friday afternoon just before game day on the Saturday or Sunday, so I can get familiar with where I'm playing, the type of situations I'll be in on game day. It just helps me mentally prepare for the game on the weekend. Yeah, Saturday game day or Sunday, and Sunday is recovery day, so I head out to the Esplanade, so that's a public pool, and I head out there for an hour doing exercises in the pool, and it really helps my muscles recover in time for Monday. Alright, so bear with me, this is the last thing I'll talk about. I know it's long, but this is my football journal. So I just want to show you my testing. So I do fitness testing as well. So for my conditioning phase, before I started phase 1, I did some testing. So I've got horizontal jump, so that's basically a long jump. That's 2.56 meters. I really want to improve that. That's not that great for a footballer. It really isn't. I want to get that up to 3 meters if I can eventually by phase 4. So between phase 3 and phase 4, or even after phase 4, I'll be retaking these tests to see my improvement. You know, you can sort of see where you're at. Because with football, you know, it's really hard to see your improvement. You know, are you progressing? Like during a game, you might have an exceptional game one week, and the next week or a few weeks later, you'll have a horrible game. So the testing really sort of tells you, it indicates where you're at performance-wise. You got your unilateral horizontal jumps. That same thing, long jump, but you're pushing off with each leg. So this tells me. So you got your left leg, it's 1.95 meters, and your right leg is 2.03 meters. So it gives me an idea of the imbalances between each leg, like the strength and power in each leg. So I can work on that over the next few weeks. If you got your 30-meter sprints, that focuses on your acceleration. So 5.03 seconds. I really thought I'd be slower here. It's decent, it's average. I really want to try cut half a second off by the end of the 4 phases, because I'm really lacking in speed, and that's something that I've always wanted to prove. I've never been a fast player ever. Like maybe 2 years ago, that's probably my peak speed and agility wise at college, but over the last year I've just put on a lot of weight. You know, I got really carried away with gym, and I bulked up way too much. So I'm slimming down. It's working. I'll give you more updates on how I'm doing weight-wise and speed-wise, but yeah, definitely want to improve that. So you've got the Illinois test, so that's another agility test. It basically works on your cuts and your turns without the ball, and just basically that push off the mark. Now, I got 14.15 seconds. That was my best time, so I want to try cut second off that by the end of phase 4. Now for the Hof shuttle run, that's basically an aerobic endurance type test. Now you could do the beep test, you could do a whole bunch of other tests, but I really like to incorporate the ball here. So let's see, you're starting here, you've got 10 cones, you dribble through all of them, pass the ball about 10 meters, 20 meters down, you jump over 3 hurdles, collect the ball. You run 30 meters across. You grab the ball and you're basically dribbling around all these cones, 20 meters apart. Coming down here and you're backward dribbling for 10 meters. Then you sprint with the ball through the gate down to the last cone, and that's a jog 30 meters back to the start. And basically, you're trying to do as many laps as you can within 10 minutes. Yeah, so I've got 8 laps here, and I got to the last pole. So next time I do it, I've got to try beat 8 laps. Now as for my strength testing, I just did 2, the basic compound movements, upper body movement and lower body movement. So my bench press 1 rep maximum, 204 pounds or 92 kilos. Now that's gone down quite a bit since I've started this fitness program. That's because I just really wanted to lose that extra bulk. I was hitting about 220 pounds previously, my 1 rep max, but I'm pretty satisfied with that. The idea here, I just want to lose the bulk, but I just want to see if I can maintain that strength or even gain strength. Same for squat. So my squat 1 rep maximum, it's only 220 pounds and 99.7 kilos. So I really want to improve this squat, and I really think I'll see improvement in that second phase where I have 6 weeks to work on that strength. So I really want to gain some progress here, just so it prepares me and gives me the best opportunity to improve my speed acceleration off the mark during phases 3 and phase 4. But yeah, so that's basically my training schedule for the coming season. The only other thing I want to say is these phases, I should have started this a few weeks earlier during pre-season. Now, I basically started this 1 week after our season started, and it's completely out of timing. But I really want to stick with it, just so I can have 1 year of, or 1 season of going through it, just so I can see how it works. You know, I didn't want to just skip a phase or two. You know, that could lead to injuries, or my results could be ineffective if I did all of these attributes at once. Really keen to keep going with this program. Really keen to see my speed and acceleration improve. That's one thing that's frustrated me a lot over the last few years. So interesting to see, but see where it gets me. Next week I'll be posting, end of this week, sorry, I'll be posting a technical session and a strength session. So more content coming your way. And thank you for bearing with me, for watching this video. For those of you that were patient enough to stick with it. But just the idea of this video is just to give you an idea of, you know, of where I was going this season with my training, so you guys aren't sort of clueless when I post, you know, a random video. So you guys can sort of follow as close as possible with my training routine. But yeah, I'm keen to start this, and I will see you guys on Friday. Alright, peace.